Welcome to the Circus of Wayward Wonders. Welcome to Roll for Combat, Three-Ring Adventure.
Hey everyone, welcome to Roll for Combat 3-Ring Adventure. I'm your GM and host Stephen Glicker, and in this week's episode, the circus folk find out who has been protecting this town, and oh boy, do they get a rude awakening. So very important this week, I said in the past that the new Kickstarter is on July 19th. It is not July 19th. It has been moved to July 26th. July 26th is when the new Kickstarter will start. And if you want to sign up ahead of time, you can just go to kickstarter.rollforcombat.com. It'll bring you to the pre-launch page. You can sign up for alerts. Or you can just go to eldamon.com and sign up for alerts there. Basically, it asks you for your email address. You automatically get subscribed to the newsletter. We get information about the Kickstarter every single week, as well as cool information just about Battlezoo products, as well as helpful tips and tricks on how to run your games from Mark Seifter himself. But once again, July 26th, that is when the Kickstarter starts. We're putting out a ton of stuff. You get Battlezoo Bestiary, Strange and Unusual. You get Year of Monsters, which is going to be 12 ancestries of various monsters. They're going to be awesome. And we're spoiling one every single week. And eventually, well, you'll have all 12 right before the Kickstarter starts. But a whole bunch of new monsters. You get, Battlezoo Eldamon, which is going to be awesome, because not only can you befriend these cool Eldamon creatures and then have them battle with you or battle your friends, you can become an elemental avatar and harness elemental powers. And right now there's going to be 10 powers, and that can go up to 20 different powers. And this is very different. We're making this unlike any other elementalist type sorcerer that's ever been in Pathfinder 5e before. Trust me, this is going to be unlike anything you've seen before. And of course, Eldamon Battles, the non-collectible card game, which is something completely different, and there's going to be 5 packs. That's right, 5 packs in Season 1, Fire and Ice. All of this is going to be available, and I promise you it's going to be at a reasonable price. We're actually putting together these amazing bundles where you will save hundreds and hundreds of dollars if you get a bundle. Basically, if you get bundles, I can make it cheaper to create, and you'll be able to get everything at a reasonable price, and the amount of stuff you're going to get is ridiculous. And unlike other Kickstarters, they give you like one role-playing book, and they'll give you a lot of support stuff, which is fine, but in this case, we're giving you not one, not two, 3 books, and these books are actually 12 books plus a Battlezoo Ancestry Year of Dragons companion book at the end of the year, plus the other 2 books, plus 5 card decks where you can play with your friends. You're going to get a ton of role-playing content for this Kickstarter, and you're going to get cool stuff. So it's not like, you get the Kickstarter and you get 1 or maybe 2 cool things. Sometimes they put in 2 books. No, you're going to get so much material. This will really keep you busy for, at least a year. That's why it's the Year of Monsters. You'll get something every month. And then we'll have the books coming out, and there's a whole bunch of other surprises. There's actually way more than I'm even talking about here. I know I'm crazy. But don't worry, we actually prepared for this. We've been secretly working on this for almost a year now, and we're well ahead of schedule. In fact, we have been making a lot of this content on the side, hoping that the Kickstarter funds, and hopefully it does. Then we can start putting it out on time, and you start getting stuff right at the beginning of 2023. And then every month you get something new. Well, assuming you get Year of Monsters, but it's going to be awesome. So make sure you check that out. Once again, kickstarter.rollforcombat.com, sign up there, or eldamon.com, sign up for the newsletter. And don't forget, do check out our weekly show at youtube.rollforcombat.com every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, where we answer questions. And if you have any questions about Eldamon, or any questions about Pathfinder, or any questions about Battlezoo, let us know. Anyhow, with that, let's get to this week's exciting episode.
Last we left off, the performers travel to well-to-do township of Willowside in search of the next of Eridan's Aeon Towers. Along the way, they encounter yet more vicious vegetation with a hunger for humanoid humors. While the performers pounce the pesky plant, they're aided by the invincible Steel Scale, a daring dragon hero whose timely, tenacious intervention was the key to stomping those weeds. Later, the performers meet a very nice dwarf named Emer, who has a very good disguise, and the performers had no idea she was actually the invulnerable Steel Scale herself, until the honest dragon entrusted her very well-kept secret to them. While they were all celebrating celebrating Steelscale's greatness, they were rudely interrupted by the belligerently bad buffoon Leodric Banyan, supposed hero of Willowside. Will the performers help the incomparable Steelscale prove Banyan is a villain? Will they give her tasty treats of roast lamb? Find out on this week's episode of A Roll for Combat's 3-Ring Adventure!
Okay, this was the most biased intro we've ever had.
It was very good.
Totally well-held secret. Yeah, no one had any idea.
The heroic, unimpeachable, awesome dragon.
The utterly most amazing ever.
Magnificent steel scale.
Well, if you write the intro next week,
Also, there were other people there.
then Hap could be the center of attention.
I could do like a grim, like noir style. Last week in Roll for Combat, 3 dames got locked in a hotel.
Oh, yes, that would be very cool.
That'd fit better for Edgewatch.
Well, Edgewatch actually has that style, but
though. Oh, nice.
we should have everyone do the intro every week. We just rotate it.
That'd be cool.
Every week someone does a different intro.
So what we should do is right now nominate who's going to do next week. That way
Right, so
they
you
can
take
take
notes.
notes. Yeah.
We could, but then I don't know. Who wants to do it next week if we want to try this out?
I'm gonna let y'all know I won't be good at writing an intro, but I could deliver one.
You could write something.
Yeah, I could write it. I won't be good at it though.
Okay. How hard can it be? I made up all the intros on the spot.
It shouldn't matter. Look, it's your style.
I never wrote anything.
I have memory problems. I won't be able to remember anything.
No, you take notes. You take notes, like during today. And then you build something to say based around your notes.
If y'all want help, that's fine. Take the notes. That way I don't have to. And then I'll help you write it. Like, write a rough
Yeah,
draft,
on
and then we'll
Discord.
workshop it. Yeah, we'll workshop it together.
If only
Or-
we recorded the show and could watch it and listen to it before.
Or just make it up. And
Yeah, the less it's related, the funnier it's going to be.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Hap was there and flew around with fire, and Darius talked about mountain thighs, and Steelscale talked about how great Steelscale was, but Acheron, they crafted things at the end.
Yeah, that's about how good mine would be.
I'm
Look,
sure you can
I
do
think
far
it's fine.
better.
It's like Harlequin, the world through her eyes is very different
Mm.
than everyone else. So this is the world through Hap's eyes, and the world through Hap's eyes could be very different than the world through Vanessa's eyes.
Well, wait, Vanessa's not doing the intro as her character, but I'd be doing the intro as Hap.
She did this week.
She did this week. She did.
I imagined the announcer right there, and Steelscale is just off screen, pointing at the.
I mean, I thought about doing it more in Steelscale's voice, but I thought it would be funnier to be like, I don't know, like Steelscale, rewrote the script or something.
Who controls these teleprompters anyway?
That's right.
So anyhow, you were at the pub, I believe, and it was actually quite rowdy, and it was very busy. You were hanging out. You were talking with this Elamir / Steelscale / dwarf / mystery person who seems to be very confused by who they are and what they are, but whatever. And then the hero walked in. Everybody's favorite.
Steelscale! Oh.
Leodric Banyan and his brothers. They all give him a big rounding cheer. They're like, the hero of Willowside, yay! And they're all patting him on the back, and they're all shaking their hands as they come wandering in, and they're getting all the accolades, and everyone's really excited to see them. Everybody. And was the mayor there with you guys? I don't remember.
The mayor had left, but that doesn't mean that they didn't come back.
True. So anyhow, he's looking around and clomping everyone, and then sees the 4 of you and Riley, and heads on over as you obviously stand out because they don't get a lot of visitors here anymore, ever, because there's no reason to come to this place because it's dying. And he says, "Oh, hello! You must be the circus folk I've been hearing so much about. And of course you know who I am. But just in case you don't, I am Leodric Banyan. Yes, the renowned son of Hedric Banyan, who has gone down through generations of protecting this town. I'm sure you've heard about our family who's been protecting this town and serving as its, well, I don't like to call police or sheriff or...
How about Blowhard?
No, not
Wow.
Blowhard. That's what you do as circus folks. I hear that's what you're very good at. Anyhow, yes, I am here. I want to find out more about you. Make sure you're not up to no good. Make sure you're going to be good for this town. I know the mayor is very excited for you to put on a show, but she listens to me. And if I don't give it the Banyan seal of approval, well, there's not going to be any show here. I'm sure you're upstanding citizens, but why don't you tell me a little bit about yourselves? I heard you got into some trouble down south. I heard there was some deaths and, I don't know, murders and stuff, and we don't want any of that in this town. I'm telling you that right now. We got enough trouble as it is. Well, don't speak up all at once. I know you're breathtaking, and I know you're admiring my muscles. And then he, like, sort of flexes. He goes, and I hardly work out.
I'm sorry, I just zoned out. I was waiting till you were done blabbering.
I want to make sure I speak to you in the most reasonable manner I can, considering we were much a force to stop those deaths and the desolation of the lands down south through our activities. Well, yes, we are with the circus. We are also trying to stop the corruption around these lands so that we might restore the prosperous nature of your farms and the like.
Really? You
Yes.
just magically wave your hand and suddenly the blight is gone away?
No, that would be activity at the Aeon Towers, which, from what I hear, no one here has done anything about yet at your tower.
Tower? You mean the old marsh stone tower that's been empty for over 10 years? No one ever goes over there. There's nothing there.
That's not what I hear.
If you want to go hang out at some empty stone tower, feel free.
Is there not a number of Zolgas there? Yes.
What? Why would any of us go there?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of Zolgaths.
We have trouble of our own. And yes, there's monsters everywhere. This whole place is crawling with monsters. In fact...
Oh, look, there's one right there. And she points at Banyan.
We did have to fight some overgrown plants on the way in, which thankfully Steelscale helped us with.
Overgrown plants, yes, we too were very busy battling multitudes of plants on the other side of town while you were taking care of, what was it, 2 plants I heard? Or was it 1?
3?
Would you rather us have
3!
left them alone?
It was 2.
Wow, 3! And he looks to his brother. He goes, that's what we do every day when we wake up for breakfast. We each kill 3 plants.
I don't think broccoli counts.
think I am supposed to be impressed.
Oh, you must be the circus strongman. Look at you! Almost as big as me. Not quite, though, but close.
Just be
You think
careful.
I could join your show? Look at me. And he sort of like flexes, and all the women are like, oh, they're all like swooning on him.
This seems very antagonistic for a town that is in danger.
You certainly can join the show if you have the talent.
We're always in need of more clowns.
Oh, I'm sorry. My brothers are spoken for. We're too busy policing this town and the surrounding areas to join your little circus show. So I hear you're putting on a circus in 3 days. Very excited. The whole town's been abuzz about this. You better get going, though, and setting up your tents and getting everything ready, because everyone's expecting a show in 3 days' time. Where's everyone else, by the way? I want to go question them as well.
They're
will
setting
be
up the tents.
arriving soon, if not already, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, the mayor's been talking all about this. This is all she's been talking about for weeks now. There's posters all over town. In fact, everyone's pretty excited about this. You
There are
seem okay.
posters
Oh, yeah.
already?
Yeah, and sure enough, you look and there's like a poster on the wall that you missed before, and there's actually a buzz, and you're like, it actually has the date.
Steve, please describe the poster. Like, what's on the poster?
Oh, the poster? It actually just shows like a big circus tent, and it actually says, People of Willowside, the Circus of Wayward Wonders will be performing in our town on, and it has the date, and it's 3 days from now.
Oh, but it doesn't have like Darius lifting the tent or like Atron with a spooky cauldron.
No, it looks like this was sort of just thrown together quickly, with just, it looked like it was just done by the mayor and maybe some of her friends, just to like generate some excitement.
We need to put some proper advertisements up.
Well, normally you need a week, and it's already nighttime, so in 3 days, hopefully they get here quick. It sounds like they're gonna have to put up that tent and get everything ready. Lickety split.
It's going to be an outdoor show.
No
tent.
No. It's like, we need the tent. In fact, you know why? Because it rains here every day, and that's actually true. It does. The weather.
Also, we need the rigging.
Yeah, you do. The weather here is actually pretty bad, ironically.
What? No, I like the weather. It's free showers.
Yes, it actually is very stormy. It's kind of a weird place to build a city. There's an interesting history to the city, but that's like, remember, it's like actually a mile away from the shore because there's a lot of storms. It's like Florida. It just gets hit by a lot of storms, a lot of hurricanes, things like that. It's like, how Florida rains every day. It's that.
So I take it then you know nothing about what's going on at the tower. How about any Zolgath activity otherwise?
You seem to be obsessed with this tower. Hey, everyone! What's at the tower? And then, like, almost in unison, everyone's like, nothing! And then he's like, that's right. Why are you obsessed with the big empty tower? There's nothing there.
I understand.
We have problems here. You know what?
I understand if you're not very educated about the tower, but it is the stone that was at the tower that supplied magical energy that supplied a growth to your lands. That is why.
Yes, you mean the Aeon Stone, the one that was provided to us by a god. Do you have one in your pocket? Can you just produce a new one for us, please? Because that would be really helpful, so we don't have thousands of people starving to death and this town dying a slow, agonizing, painful death. And they look around and everyone's like everyone's like really...
You do understand the purpose of the tower then?
Yes, everyone knew what it did. But what are we going to do about it? There's nothing we can do.
Do you know who took the stone?
Do you?
Not yet, but I have a very good idea.
Well, okay. I hope you find it and bring it back to us, because we need it.
That's what they're going to do. They said so.
Okay.
So you maintain law and order, and we will take care of the bigger problem.
Okay.
Have no fear.
So you are going to find an orb from a dead god that's been missing for 10 years, that no one can touch or approach or do anything with. You had me going there for a second. That's funny. I tell you, I didn't know comedy was part of your routine. You might want to work on it, because I think it's cutting a little too close to bone. If you try to use that in the show, I don't think a lot of people are going to find that very amusing at all, because, we're dying.
We're going to help you.
Mr. Banyan, you're supposed to be a hero, but you're just being insufferable.
I mean, that's pretty much his MO.
Insufferable. And then he starts listing all the things that he's done. And to be honest, he actually has done a lot of heroic things. He has killed many creatures approaching on the town. He has killed, yes, even dinosaurs. Yes, even gigantic flying reptiles. And yes, even gigantic Venus flytraps. And he goes on and on listing all of his accolades for many years. Many, many years. And I will have to say, he's even killed a couple things that are above your pay grade.
And Ataran just nods throughout it and then ends, I still do not understand why you are being so antagonistic, considering we are here to help your town and people.
Well, my guess is because there is so much trouble he is needed. He believes when we find the stone and fix the tower, he will not be needed anymore. Is that correct?
What? I'm confused. What do you mean?
I'm saying he needs the town to be in peril, so he can be a hero. If the town is saved and the stone is back and they're back to being prosperous and growing again, he will not be needed anymore.
Not at all. My family's been protecting this town for over 200 years.
I'd expect that to continue.
Then do so. Then why be so at odds with our presence?
I don't understand.
You know why? And he actually looks a little serious for now. He says, because we're dying. We're starving. Do you think you're the first hucksters to come into this town and promise what you just said? You know how many people have done this? Dozens. And they've been promising the world. They promise magic beans. They promise they'll come and fix our fields. They promise they'll magically grow us food, infinite amounts. And all we have to do is give them their money, or give them some plots of land, or give them something else. And every time, disappointment. Every time we get nothing, they leave a little richer. So maybe you'll do a good job. And you know what? I hope you do. I truly do. But you're like the 20th person to come around saying you're going to do this over the last 10 years. So excuse me if I'm a little negative or doubt your intentions.
I understand.
Okay.
You're right. We might be lying or hucksters. I promise you we are not.
We have fixed the other 4 towers, so at least we have a good track record.
He looks at you and he says, okay, fair enough. But if you can find an orb of the god and replace it, I'll be the first one to buy you guys a drink. Hell, I'll buy your whole circus a drink.
I have an idea. Who has the bag? Who has the extra bag of holding that usually has water in it? That we usually use.
Oh,
I
I think
can't hear
Hap
you.
keeps that.
Hap, give me the bag of holding.
Which one?
The empty one.
Oh,
Oh, look, there's a cabbage on it.
The cabbage bag.
The cabbage bag.
Okay.
Darius's plan is I want to do the travel through the earth that power that I have, go back to, Hamlin's, load up every inch of that bag with food, and come back.
But Hamlin's doesn't let you do takeout.
Then it'll be Larry's lukewarms.
Okay.
You're correct. Where was my brain? I can do this essentially once a day, and I will do it every day that I am here. So how many bulk is that bag?
I think 25. It's either 25 or 50. I don't know if it's type 1 or type
How
2.
much bulk is essentially a sandwich?
Probably
Light
light.
bulk?
Light.
So I can bring back essentially 250,
Sandwiches.
25 bulk worth of
25
food.
bulk, yep.
Like I'll buy fruit, I'll buy, dried meats, things that will keep, right? And some Larry's lukewarm specialties, like a cheese plate. But also cheese wheels. Stuff that keeps.
Yeah.
So they can stretch out, right?
Well,
Broth.
you might have to cut cheese wheels into wedges, otherwise it's not going to fit through the entrance of this bag.
I will. Okay, so what my plan
Emer's
is,
like sticking her arm in the bag and like, hey, you can't see my hand.
I'll use my thunderous strikes to crack the cheese wheels in half. So I will go to Mr. Banyan. We have been given certain gifts after rescuing these towers, and I have one such a gift. I can travel a certain distance through the earth, a very far distance to somewhere I have been, and I will retrieve food every single day that I am here. Is that acceptable to you?
He looks at his brothers. It's helpful, but believe it or not,
Yes, it's not a fix. It's a Band-Aid. I understand. It's a bandage. I don't know what
we're a
Band-Aid
town of over 2,000 people. Here's the other issue. Once you start bringing food in, how do you distribute it? Who gets what? What about the elderly and the sickly and those?
is. Can I leave that to you? You give the food to the people that need it most.
He looks at his brothers. He says, I do not have time for that. I would suggest you talk to the mayor, but I would also suggest if you're going to do such a thing, get small foodstuffs, apples, pears, carrots,
Sure.
things that are easily distributed. Do not try to buy large chickens or other poultry.
Ooh, I'll take a chicken.
Yes, it's going to be hard to divide amongst the people.
I will buy fruit and vegetables in enough way that it can be distributed.
Can we do like a diplomacy on letter?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh,
Alright.
I'd like to try.
Here's the thing. He's actually not being unfriendly.
No. Yeah.
He's
It
just
sounds
on a-
like he's.
If I
yeah.
met this person in real life,
I
it
know,
would
but
not
he's-
go well.
Yeah, but he's seen a lot, and this has gone. You're like the 20th person to come in and say.
No, now that he explained that, I completely agree, and I'm
Yeah.
excusing his attitude.
I want to convince him that we have the town's best intentions.
His job is to scare off hucksters.
All right, I got a 44
Whoa.
to impress him and convince that we're on his side.
Okay, he's impressed, and he says, "You know what? I'm going to say you guys are okay, and if you bring food and help distribute it, so much the better. In fact, me and my brothers will even come to your show. Of course, we'll help out, making sure there's no trouble, making sure nothing crashes the show, make sure no one gets too drunk or rowdy. I have a feeling people are going to be having so much fun at the show that they might get a little out of hand, which is understandable. So we'll do our best. But, even just having my presence at your show should keep them under control, as, everyone here respects.
We want people to have fun, yes. Again, we are here with the circus. The circus will be focused on entertaining the people, but we are going to be focused on the overall threats and solutioning, I guess, for this tower and whatever's Olgast there. Ultimately, yes, our intention is to get this stone back and fix the tower in this land.
Okay. And just make sure you tell your circus folk not to cause any trouble in town.
They will not. So, remind me about the powers of this. It's a ring, right?
Uh-huh. A stone shift ring.
Stone shift ring,
I
that's
think
it.
it's literally it's like a teleport, but you go through stone. And it has to be within 100 miles, I think. You do it 3 times a day, which is weird because I guess it makes sense if you go one place and another and then back to where you wanted to.
Right. Yeah, ring of stone shifting. You emerge in another location within 100 miles. Is a place we have been that has an active market within 100 miles.
Absalom.
Escadar.
Escadar, yeah. Back to Hamlin and friends. The town square where I can buy a bunch of food, right?
Yeah, you have time. I mean, yes, you can go. You can. I think it.
Pop up in the park or something.
Yeah, you can go one place, then another place, and then come back.
Yeah, I can do it 3 times a day. The activate time is a minute, so I can go there and back, and that's it. Or disappear again for a whole day. So I will take a minute, go outside, and stand on a stone, and start this process.
Oh, you're gonna do it today? Didn't
Of
you
course.
use it already? I don't remember if you used it already.
Not today, I don't think
Not
so.
today.
Oh, okay.
I think they've talked about the potential of using it last episode when we were talking about how the town is a bit destitute, but we haven't actually done it yet.
And now that he's,
Okay.
said this, and I think it's something he would be obligated to do.
Okay. So you can do that.
Great.
Yeah.
I take a bunch of gold. I go back to town in Escadar. I buy fruits, vegetables, dried meats. Enough to fill the bag of 25 bulk worth of food,
You just
which is a lot
That's
of
so
fucking
much
food.
I know it's somehow not really. I mean, this is the thing. It's it's a lot of
Well, compared to the town, yeah.
right. It's a lot of food. 2,500 people eating 3 meals a day. It's
Well, they're gonna have one meal to start. You know what I mean? That it's gonna supplement what they have.
yeah.
This is big catering. You could cater for a big wedding party, but you wouldn't feed the whole town.
Yeah. I mean, it's supplemental. It'll help. It's making a dent,
Yeah.
not a big
And if
dent.
I do it
It's a
every
dent.
day, maybe eventually we'll have something to catch up with.
Yeah. Well, I think it's good. Anyhow, okay.
So
you
I do
go-
that. I
you do
disappear. I
that.
come back. Takes about an hour probably of shopping, and
Yeah, an hour or so.
shove it all in the bag, and then I say, "Here you go. Give me a place to place the food, and we'll place it out here in the
So-
tavern. Distribute it. Maybe in that hour, you guys talk to the mayor about distributing it.
Yeah, well, we'll have the mayor with us when you get back.
Well, tell them before what's happening because we don't want to cause
Yeah.
a big mob rush.
While you're gone, Emer's gonna excuse herself and say that, she'll meet you back here in an hour. And around the time you come back, right before you show up in the town square, Emer has just, Steel Scale has just flown in and drops some weird, huge, 9-legged octopus in the middle of the town square. It's mutated and kind of gross looking and very slimy, and she drops it and she's like, "You're welcome, citizens," and then flies on. I told you before that she was gonna fish for them.
Atron stares at the weird creature. What is that?
You should roll occultism on that because it's obviously cursed.
I should make it I should make the creature sentient, and it's help me! Don't let me die!
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm guessing in that hour we would have fetched the mayor, and then is the creature
Sure.
a real creature?
She said she did it. Yeah, sure. That's
Should I be concerned of what this creature is? It's just mutated octopus?
It's essentially fishing.
It's
She
an
goes
octopus.
and beats the crap out of
All right,
something and
all
then
right.
brings it back.
It's a petacus.
Well, I don't know if you'd asked Steven, oh, can I have fetched something? And Steve's like,
No.
yeah, you fetched a blah, 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 blah.
Well, we talked about fetching food.
Yeah.
But, it's also out of the local harbor, so who knows?
Well, that's actually how they sustain themselves, is fishing. The most reliable source of food in Willowside is fishing. Fishing accompanied by dried imported food and spices is pretty much the meal of everyone. And you know that just by looking around. That's all people are eating is dried fruits, meats and fish. Fish, and more fish.
Well, that's good. Something. Yeah, I buy enough fruit, to supplement everyone with vitamins. Nuts, fruits.
That's a good idea, so they don't get scurvy.
Fruits and nuts and foodstuffs.
Yeah,
Hey, and I
awesome.
found this thing. I don't know what it's called. It's new. It's called Soylent Green. I heard it's
Oh, God.
for people.
I love it.
Wow.
Atron will help serve up food.
Okay. So the mayor comes and says, "Oh, this is so helpful. Yes, make sure we're very orderly." And she says, "I'll get some volunteers to help distribute this." I think really the best way to give this out is to give it out to the various inns and bars and foodstuffs areas, so that instead of everyone trying to conjugate in one area, I think it's just going to be too much. So instead of us trying to distribute it, we'll give it to other people to distribute it fairly. And I'll make sure and talk to everyone that each family and each member only gets 1 piece, 2 pieces per family.
Very, very good. Did you also set up that the circus would perform in a few days?
Oh, 3 days! Look! And sure enough, and you in the town square where there's there's actually a little stage there ready for you to perform and advertise and show things that are going to happen when you put on your big show in 3 days. And she said, yeah, I was talking to my nephew, and he was saying how amazing you were, and I just got a little ahead of myself and just said you're going to be performing in 3 days. And yeah, sorry about that. Anyhow,
Very well.
I got you the plot of land. I got you everything you need. In fact, I just need you to perform. And where are you performing? Are they coming soon?
Yes. I don't remember, Stephen. Were they on the ship after us?
They're coming right after you.
They were a few days behind us.
They're probably 2 days behind you, which will make it a fun one day.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh boy.
Yes, they will be here in a day or so. Unfortunately, with the way the boats work, they could not come on the same boat.
Oh yes, of course that makes sense. You must have a ton of equipment and animals and
Yes.
and stuff. But I'm sure on the other side, my nephew will take care of all the arrangements, no charge, of course. And we'll make sure to meet you at the docks and escort you to the circus show site. We're so excited. Oh, I can't wait.
Yes. In the meantime, I have a little scouting to do. And you said that the priest of the other church would be able to help us with the Eridan church?
What was that? What about the churches? We have 2 churches here.
Yes. You said there was a church of Eridan, but I assume
Yes.
there's not a priest. You said something about talking to the other priest?
Temple of
Aristil.
Aristil. Temple of Aristil? Yes, many people here worship the Temple of Aristil.
Or Erastil if you're from the south.
If you wish to visit the Temple of Eridan, no one really worships there ever since the last Aslanti died. But we have a rotating group of residents who keep the temple clean and in good repair. And in fact, sometimes we even have scholars who visit the temple because it still has a lot of books and arts about Eridan. If you wish, you can visit it. I have no trouble with that. It's quite nice and good place to rest and relax.
I think I will, but I guess since Aristil's temple is right there and Atron points to the northeastern part of the town, or the square, because their temple is right there, I guess we will check in there first to meet the local clergy before we go to Eridan's temple. Thank you.
Okay,
Oh,
thank you for
oh.
the food. And she's like, I'm going to take this bag if you don't mind so I can distribute this around town. And we'll make sure we get the word out so that tomorrow morning everyone has a big hearty breakfast. Well, at least an apple. You know what they say, an apple a day.
Is not nearly enough food. Hey, Mayor Vandy, I was wondering, what can we do to help out around town? Have there been terrible bandits around the edge of town, or some horrifying monster to slay? Anything that we can do to help?
Okay, is this Steel Scale or
No. Emer is with them.
Emer? Okay.
Yeah.
No. The Banyan brothers are more than enough to protect this town. I mean, if you want, you can go on a fishing expedition and try to catch more fish. I think that'd be helpful.
Well, but these 3 people here, they're pretty strong. This guy, he teleported all the way to Escadar to get all that food, and they have pretty strong magic and stuff, and I'm just thinking maybe they could help.
They are going to help. They're going to be putting on a circus, putting on a show. If you want to come with me, you can help distribute the food.
I got something to go fix. Bye, Mayor.
Okay. I understand. Helping others isn't always what it's cracked up to be. And she just sort of looks at the rest of you and it's like, everyone thinks being heroic is slaying monsters and going on adventures. I've been at this job for 20 years. I've been the mayor of this town. And let me tell you, this is what most of the job is. Just dealing with the day-to-day minutia, getting people fed, keeping people safe, putting out fires. That's what I do every day. I wish I was slaying monsters. It'd probably be easier.
And I am sure we are all glad and appreciative of what you are doing, as well as the Banyan brothers. But we will be checking into some of the local things because we want to make sure your tower ultimately gets fixed.
Okay.
Yes. We have fixed all the others, and we want to make sure this one gets fixed too. It might take some time, but that is our goal.
You mean the Marsh Stone Tower? I don't know why you're all so obsessed with that thing, but okay, if you think so.
They all fix all the other towers.
Yes. Getting that tower fixed ultimately will be able to fix your land. We know it will not be easy, considering the stone is missing. But first things first, we will go talk to Aristo's clergy.
Okay, if you think fixing the tower will get rid of this welt.
Yes. Oh, it will.
I would love that. I don't know how that would work, but okay. Well, I gotta get this food out, so I'll be around. If you need me, just holler. I'm sure I'll be found pretty easily, and I'll come running.
Yes, thank you. Do any of you want to come with me to Aristo's temple?
Obviously, we're all going with you to the temple, Atron.
I also realized I just did that entire scene and forgot to do dwarf voice. Just pretend I did dwarf voice.
Oh, that's why I didn't know who was who.
It was a little confusing.
I know, I meant to do that before, and then I forgot.
I forgot to do the dwarf voice. Can't you believe such a thing?
Wow.
That was a good dwarf voice. Is Hap secretly a dwarf?
Dun dun dun!
Secretly, it finds out, wait, I'm not part genie. I'm part dwarf.
Secret dwarf
That'd be
tunnel.
so silly.
So yeah, Atron's gonna head over to the Temple of Aristil. It's just right there on the corner of the town square.
Right there.
I intend to go in and introduce myself and meet the clergy and ask them about Meriden. I don't know how much you want to play versus me doing some gather info.
Well, let's see. You head over to the temple. The church is a large building with heavy beams and solid construction, as all temples of Aristil should be. You meet the priestess. Her name is Trital Fryn. She introduces herself, and you see that she also sells potions and scrolls, which might come in handy. And she's like, oh, yes, I heard the circus was in town. Literally.
Yes, the rest of it will arrive within a day or two.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Your Holiness.
Town could use some spiritual healing as well as just entertainment. I think that would do the souls of our town much healing. If not food for their bodies, at least food for their souls.
Yes, and hopefully that will give their minds some rest too. Do you know anything about any of the influences on the town, any of the monstrous activities, or, and I know it's going to sound unrelated apparently, activities at the tower?
What tower are you talking about, dear?
Marshstone?
The Marshstone Tower?
Yes.
No.
Okay, which is fine. How about anything of recent significance you maybe have heard, or have heard from your parishioners?
Well, as you know, the Welt has been devastating this area for the last 10 years. You know, the town of Willowside is as old as the island itself, and it took its name from the willow trees that would separate Dunmar from the forest. And everywhere you looked, and she sort of like waves her hands around town, there was beautiful willow trees, and this was a beautiful town. But in the last 10 years, they've all died. There's no more willow trees. There's nothing but Welt. And the Welt has done nothing but destroyed both the wild forest and our farmland. There's nothing here except starving animals and monsters who eat those starving animals. And when those monsters run out of starving animals, they start eating each other, or townsfolk. Yes, there's monsters around, but everyone tries to stay within those town limits. Of course, there are a few people outside here and there, but we do what we can.
Okay, well, thank you. We are also going to go visit Eridan's temple, if there's anything you know or wish to tell us about it.
Oh, if you wish to go, I give tours of the place.
Yes, that is what the mayor had mentioned. You give tours. Yes.
Yes. Why don't we do this tomorrow, as it's quite late tonight, but I'll be happy to open up the temple and give you a tour and show you everything. We keep it quite clean and intact, as if the god comes back one day. We want to make sure there's a place for everyone to worship.
That is very considerate, considering that is not your worship, but very respectful. I think that is very good.
Of course. We all must support each other in this time of need.
Yes, I appreciate the cooperation and not... There seems to be some ill-placed emotional hostility from some members of your town, so I am thankful to hear this.
Of course. And are you interested in any scrolls or potions today?
I am not at the moment, but we may be long term. I practice various magics, as does Hap, but I do not think we need anything.
I've been looking for a scroll. I read about a spell in my book about the elemental plane of fire that can take you there. I'm looking for a scroll of plane shift so I can learn this.
Plane shift? Oh, that's a powerful and rare scroll indeed. Why would such a little girl like you be interested in such a powerful magic such as that?
I need to visit the city of Brass so I can learn more about where I come from.
Well, we don't have a scroll like that, but we can get one if you must insist. It might take a few days, but if that's something you're interested in, I can call upon some other temples in the nearby area and procure one for you if you wish.
Oh, I wish so very much, please.
Okay, we'll see what we can do. Come back in a few days and I'll give you an update, but it'll probably take at least a week or so.
That would be quite the journey, Hap. I hope we can find someone who can get you answers.
I'm pretty nervous, but I think it's something I have to do.
Aye, but why would you want to move an entire plane?
Oh, dear.
I mean, if you really wanted to, you could with, I guess a really big shovel, and you could shift the plane that way, but I don't know why you would want to.
It's more that you're shifting to the other plane of existence.
I don't quite follow. You travel from one plane to a different plane?
Yes. Instead of here, you would be in the land of fire and flame.
Ah, those planes.
Yes.
I thought you meant full of grass and whatnot.
Oh, no, no. We need to get some answers for Hap when we can. Hopefully soon.
Right then, we have to kill monsters and things.
I think tonight we rest at the inn. Tomorrow we look at the Temple of Eridan, and then I have some scouting to do of the tower.
Oh, very well then.
Especially if we're lucky, maybe the circus arrives tomorrow. Else it arrives the day after tomorrow, and we will be very busy and set up, it sounds like.
All right, so you bought food, you visited the temples, you found out all about plane shifting. Time to go to sleep, most likely.
Oh.
I think what I
think so.
would try to do, if you guys want, if this is a good idea, use my last movement through stone to go to Escadar and sleep. So when I wake up, buy more food, bring it back, drop it off, go back, buy more, and bring it back, and do double the load tomorrow.
Where are you going? You're going to sleep at Cat?
So I would sleep in Escadar.
Oh, no.
At Cat.
At an inn, I'm assuming.
In Escadar, I would go to, buy a room or, talk to the priest,
Cat.
say, hey, buddies, what's up,
Cat. Cat will gladly put you up for free.
You got a friend in Escadar. You could just stay with her.
I'm not crazy about this idea anyway. What if...
I think it's a good idea, and I think you should roleplay Cat once again.
Great. I will not be going to Cat.
No. No, you're not going to Escadar. She secretly has like a tracker on you, some magical device.
Geez.
Whenever you get into town, she's like, I know where
it goes off.
And she's like a thing on you, a magical locator.
She's secretly a psychic. Tune in sometime soon for Dark Archive.
So, I mean, I could stay the night in Escador, wake up, get a bunch of food, come back, and, like, you know, do the whole thing in, like, 90 minutes. I'll be back, grab it, make us... I'm going back now. Have another load ready, and I'll bring the bag back and refill it, and you can do it twice. So we can have some sort of, you know, what is that? 25 bulk is, like, how many pounds? 250 pounds or something?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't translate that way, but yeah, it's a lot of food.
It's a lot of food twice.
We could let the mayor know that she should have, like, I don't know, a giant
Wagons.
crate or like a big wagon, to dump it into. Because can't you, like, turn it inside out and it all dumps out
exactly
at
the
once?
plan. Just blah, 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 potatoes, apples, blah, 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 you know.
I mean, everything will be bruised, but sure.
Does Escadar even have that much food extra?
Yeah, it's a giant. Yeah, probably. It's a giant.
Escadar is huge.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would buy a lot of... I mean, it's like a large... It's like what the circus eats.
I think it's like 8,000 people or something. It's a big city.
Yeah. And I'm spending, like, you know, 50 gold or what... I don't know how much food is... 25 bulk of food. Like, what's the regular light bulk meal?
Copper.
A copper?
Population 11,700.
11,000, yeah, even bigger. I think it's a copper for like a pie. Okay, a pie,
Yeah.
regular sized pie. Don't ask, I know this. It's 2 copper
Great.
for a regular
It's cheap.
meal. For a meal for one person is 2 copper.
Two
I would be-
copper, eh?
Yes.
2 copper and 25 bulk of meals, right?
So 2 copper times 250, whatever that
25
is.
bucks.
You just need hand pies and
Well, I'm buying
Puddings.
vegetables and stuff.
Yeah, that's what it
Fruits,
is.
vegetables, things that
Yeah.
keep. So like potatoes, like, you know, stuff that keeps for weeks.
Uh-huh. I was actually just doing an
Twinkies.
adventure on this, so I had to look it up.
Twinkies, root vegetables.
Twinkies do not keep. That's a myth. Anyhow,
jerky.
Cans of soda.
sure, you get moon pies, Twinkies, snow caps, all that
Ooh.
fun stuff. Yum, yum, yum. Chocodiles.
Chocodiles, chocodiles.
Chocodiles. It's like, let's take a Twinkie and dip it in chocolate. Okay, that should be illegal. You shouldn't do that. I remember when I was a kid, the first time I tried a Chocodile, I like almost died. I was like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. Even better than Cadbury Egg, which is right up there too.
Correct.
Anyhow, Cadbury
So I do it twice, like, and it's a tremendous amount of food. So like, there'll probably be enough to feed a lot of people for a couple of days. You know.
Cool. Hap, Atron, Emer, give me a will save.
This is why I thought this was a bad idea.
Uh-oh.
Alright, here comes the will save.
What's a bad idea?
For Darius to run off and split up the party for a whole night?
Ooh,
I can't punch your dreams.
21.
that's
Wow.
you rolled a 3. I presume you're not going to spend a hero point. You failed, but I'll tell you what.
Nope.
You wake up, Atron, remembering a terrifying dream. You stand in the field of a hurricane. Water is knee-deep on the ground and rising fast. Your feet are stuck. You can't seem to get away. Slowly, with great effort, you're able to unstuck your foot and move forward, but the water keeps rising, getting higher and higher, up to your chest, up to your neck, up to your mouth, up to your nose. You can't swim. It's like your arms are getting held down. Your legs are getting held down. You're about to drown. Then you wake up.
Imagine Ultrons in their own room, so they would, like, heave a few times, cough a bit, stand up.
Well, it's morning, so it's not like it woke you in the middle of the night. This is
Oh,
like what you
all
woke
right.
up to. So you had a pleasant dream of dying by drowning.
Ultron will start talking to Chilagosh to prepare spells, but with concern?
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, you have your morning coffee, your morning routine. Do you and Chilagosh sit down and discuss the plans for the day? What do you do? What is your morning routine, Atron and Chilagosh?
Ultron takes out their spell book, since they also prepare spells as a wizard, and they chat with Chilagosh about the different spells that they should try to prepare, both from the energy Nocticular provides as well as the book, while, you know, feeding Chilagosh a bit of scrap scroll paper as well as some real food, bits and pieces of rations probably. That's their morning ritual of preparation anyway.
I think Chilagosh looks down upon you learning spells through a book. I think they poo-poo that.
Hey, I do it all.
They might poo-poo directly on it.
That's right. They're like constantly cleaning crap off of the book, literally.
It is the Book of Shadow.
Book of poo.
What was I going to say? Oh, and for the record, Otteron's not preparing the root magic for anybody right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Who is your witch's charge?
It's Darius.
Yeah.
Ah, Hap. Thanks so much for letting me stay in one of these inn things. I usually forget to come into town and do that. It's like camping.
Oh, Emir, I forgot you were here with us.
Is that a short joke? 'Cause you ain't too tall either, Missy. Honestly, I feel a bit short at the moment. Everything seems so big.
Well, yes, that's quite the difference for you, I assume. To have to handle different perspectives, yes?
Yes, I suppose. It's sort of strange. I usually don't spend too much time like this. Like, at least not if I can help it. Just usually when I'm coming into town to get the local gossip and see what's going on.
Ah. Did any of you have a strange nightmare last night?
No, not really.
I dreamt that I was feeding Riley so many pies, and I can't figure out why. He just kept eating them, and he wouldn't get full.
I wonder if it is my mother. I had a dream about a hurricane and floods and drowning. But unfortunately, it might just be my mother tormenting me. I was wondering if any of you had had such.
When we were having bad dreams back in Carrick, they were really personal nightmares. But that doesn't sound like drowning is a very personal nightmare for you.
No, it is not. But I wondered if maybe. I don't know. Well, either way. We should go to the Temple of Rastil, speak with the priestess Fryn, and then we will get our tour of the Temple of Eridan, and then we can head out a bit toward the Marshstone Tower, so that way I can scout.
Wait, why would your mother be sending you bad dreams? Is this a regular human thing? Humans are so strange.
She's a night hag.
Are you a night hag then?
No. Much to her chagrin, I imagine.
Then you were adopted then?
I was somewhat adopted.
No, that was me.
Ah, me too. Peas in a pod, you and I.
I was more
Crystals in a geode.
caretaken, watched over by a group of druids.
Ah, I was caretaken and watched over by a group of dwarves. Told ya, small world.
I hope your dwarves were nicer.
Fairly nice.
Good, let us go then. Otteron will stand.
Darius finishes up unloading his second bag of food.
There you go.
Good
word choice.
Holding of food. Let's go.
Thank you for fetching everything, Darius. I'm sure it will help.
I need to do something. I need to do something.
Yes, whatever we can do. And then Otteron's going to head over to the temple with the others.
Cool.
Okay, you go over to the temple. Darius is getting quite the workout, bringing food back and forth. Are you going to tell them about your little tryst with Kat? Or are we just keeping that between you and me?
I would, no.
We did that offline. We were doing that on the side. No one knew about this.
Oh, God, we're chatting in a secret chat.
We're doing a secret chat. Rob is too embarrassed to admit it, but...
Wow. I'm gonna need a transcript of that for some legal reason that I'm gonna come up with in the future.
You know, Darius has a lot of stalkers, but this one, he can't seem to shake it. Maybe she cast a love spell on you. Is there love spells and love potions in the world of Pathfinder?
At least 9 of them.
Really? Damn, okay.
Good reference.
So you head on over to the temple, and circus! 2 days!
Jeez.
What are you gonna do?
We go into the temple and look for the priestess.
She's there.
Good morning. We are ready for the tour when you are.
Excellent. Let's head on over. And she, is starting to give you a little bit more history about the town as you walk on. And she goes on telling you about how over the last couple of years, something horribly wrong has happened. There's a terrible blight known as the Welt, and it originated on the western side of the Dunmire and has gradually been spreading into the forest, sheltering Willowside. And she said before, everything is sort of dead. So people try to hunt, but there's so little to hunt out there, and so many monsters that are willing to hunt people that the number one way they get money right now is through fishing. And they also managed to import a lot of dry goods and other things, but even that is starting to dry up as that people are scared to visit Willowside. They think the place is cursed, and if they visit it, maybe the curse will spread to their location. So you can imagine what it's like living here. The population's slowly been decreasing. All the young folk and people with a future have left, and all that's left are older folk, people who have lived here their whole lives, or people who simply have nowhere else to go. And it's getting quite desperate. And she even goes on to say, although that Banyan can be insufferable at times, he would give his life to defend this town and does everything he can to protect us. And he's good at heart, him and his brothers, even if he is a little boisterous, even for my tastes. But he is quite handsome. Anyhow, here we are at the temple, and she unlocks it for you. Sure enough, you can see the temple is very clean and in excellent repair. And she goes on to explain how they take turns cleaning the place, at least dusting it, making sure, any repairs that need to be done at least once a week. They make sure that all the books and other artifacts are in excellent condition. And, everyone respects the temple. After all, it is a temple of Aridin, and though he might be a dead god, people still don't want any more bad luck that could possibly occur on them, so everyone gives this temple kind of a wide berth if they don't have a reason to be here. She goes on to show you the books and arts about Aridin, and there's quite a vast library. No different than what you've seen in other temples of Aridin, although probably much better preserved and more complete than other temples where volumes might be missing. This one has like the full Encyclopedia Britannica set. You're like, whoa, it goes from A to Z. You don't always see that.
Do you not usually have Z in human alphabets?
No, we pronounce it Z.
Ah, very good. Carry on.
So, yeah. She goes on to, would you like to research or spend some time here? Are you, do you follow Aridin?
No, I follow Nocticula, but, I would like to look around. Considering our activity in restoring the other 4 towers, we have gained a number of blessings from the Aeon Towers and are learning more and more about Aridin every day, it seems. Some for good, and unfortunately some lessons are not so good. But I would like to look around, please. If there are things I wish to study, I will have to come back, because we have a few other things to do today. But if we can do a quick look around, that would be good.
Of course, of course.
And Atron's really, looking around to see if there's anything, in the Moonstone Temple, I think was the name of it, the one that sank, or anything that seems to be informative about the Moonstone, or the Marsh Tower?
Marsh.
The Marsh Tower, etc. Just at, face value, like a mosaic or a painting. They know they might have to come back and read through books, but right now it's just, being in here. You never know. Little touches of divinity.
Hold on a moment. You said something that sparked my interest. You said you got some sort of blessings from the other stones.
Yes. You have the ability to see in the dark, to swim with ease and breathe underwater, to cover yourself with a resilient stone kind of edifice to protect you in combat, as well as the ability to draw on the natural healing energies in order to, sustain ourselves slightly.
That sounds like a lot of useful powers. Thank you for explaining that to new members of our audience here in Season 4.
Yes, they are very useful. I don't know what the last one would do, but it would not happen without the stone in the tower anyway. So yeah, just a casual look around the temple inside, any poignant mosaics or statues or anything.
Give me a sec.
Yeah, no problem.
So you look and try to do some research while other people are doing who knows what. And the Marsh Stone Tower, as it was said, had, yes, indeed, seemed to have an Aeon Stone. Used to be a beacon of light that, You sort of know the history. It's very similar to all the other towers. It's actually mentioned. See, the thing is, all the towers are kind of just mentioned as the same type of tower. Yes, there's individual names for them, but they all did the same thing. And it's the same story as before, where Eridan heroically went down onto the bottom of the earth and to the Underdark and got these miraculous stones to help his isle and his people to prosper and make sure that everyone in this dead land was able to grow food. And, it's been great up here. In fact, because of these 5 stones and the life-giving energies they give, millions and millions of humanoids have been prosperous and doing great. I'm sure the people he stole those stones from, those 5 stones, but he did leave one for them, which was really mighty nice of him, don't have any trouble whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't come invade the surface for any reason.
No, not at all. No hard feelings. Gods do what God's got to do. And
Yeah. We should go talk to some of his old friends that might be, kicking around. They might want to help us, maybe? No?
Who? The god?
Erasne. I'm sure she would just love to help us.
Well, Zed's dead, baby. Anyhow, no, you don't really find out anything new. It's the same stuff. Pretty much all the towers are treated the same in the books. Each one was done a little differently, just because maybe, Eridan was bored at the time. Same things nothing you don't know already. Mud brick towers, magical energies, things to clean them, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You're used to it.
So, at least Audron gets like a general sense of the temple here and looks up just what the high-level books are about and says, okay, thank you. I might come back to do some further research if we have time, but for now, I do appreciate you giving us the tour and the background of the town priestess.
Oh, of course, of course.
Do you know much about Nocticula?
Of course I know about all the gods and goddesses.
Oh, good. It's just, I did not wish to put you off, but Nocticula has helped me personally quite a bit, as well as my allies, so I want to make sure that the Queen of Redemption is understood for how she is helping, especially those like myself who have found some exile from their home or find comfort in the darkness, moonlight, starlight, as it were.
Wait, you know about all the gods, do you? In that case, can you tell me all about Nivi Rambadazzle? I think the gnomes revere her. This is just me trolling Steven.
Why? I love that god.
Okay. I was trying to pull up a relatively obscure one.
They have the best symbol. It's like a 6-sided die.
But there's a number 7 on it.
Yep.
I love that guy. You're like, oh, you're trying to troll me? No. Rambadazzle is like, I love that god.
Yeah. It's a 6-sided die, but there's a 7, there's 7 pips on it.
Exactly. I like gnomes. You're talking to the wrong person here. I'm like, no. And maybe that's someone else. I'm a gnome. I'm a gnome lover. Mm-hmm.
Is that who you follow, Emer?
Yes. Emer follows that god.
No. I just heard of her and didn't know much about. I just thought maybe I could get a bit of a lesson.
Oh.
She's the best god of all. As she hears that in her head, realizing, oh god, the god's talking to me directly.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Now what do I do?
I revere... Oh, what's that one's name? Torag. Yes, that's the one I'm supposed to... Torag's the one. Yes, that's right.
Torag, he's smelly. You don't want to worship him. He stinks.
Father Forge and all that. Yep, absolutely.
Oh, yes. Okay, maybe we should get going to our next destination. Thank you, Your Holiness.
Yes. And she escorts you out and locks up the door as the tour is over. Exit through the gift shop.
So, Emer, the tower is to which direction?
Oh, just over yonder. If you'd like a ride, I can absolutely give you one, but we should probably walk into the woods or some first.
Yes, and we're going to want to stay 2 or 3 miles out. I'm going to cast a spell that will allow me to scout from far away.
So how far is the tower from here?
I don't know. Give me a sec. I haven't seen this in a while.
I can go about a mile, a little over a mile by Sky, but then we'll have to walk the rest of the way.
Hold on, I'm trying to find a map.
Probably better to save for the way back, just in case we run into trouble.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so Willowside, it's approximately 10 miles to the southwest.
Whoa!
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's quite a while.
Yeah, I'll save the once per day flight for if we have to make a quick getaway.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we saved it for today, so it's like a few hours and then a few hours back.
It's also through
depending.
the Welt. Like the Welt itself. Here, I'll show you.
So I was going to say we can get there in a little over 3 hours. Assuming everyone moves 30.
If it's to the southwest, did we see it when we came up the coast?
No.
Okay.
We came from the north. The pier is north of the town.
No, I meant when we came from the town to the southwest.
Hold on, I'll show you where it is. Give me a second.
Carrick, right? Is to the southwest?
Right. Yeah, hold on. Okay, so if you look at the map, you came from the southwest. The Aeon Tower is several miles. I mean, it's like 10 miles in from the coast, and it's covered in forest. So that is gone. Like, there's no way you can see it. There's nothing to see.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
And so you went around that little hub, and then went to Willowside, and then came down from the north, and Willowside was to the south, and then you see to the southwest. That's about 10, 12 miles, and then you see the Welt, that whole gray area. That's all dead.
Interesting. We're actually closer to Escadar now than we were in the last book.
Yeah. This actually, Escadar and Willowside are trading partners. Big trading partners. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to fly to, but whatever. I mean, you can get there. I mean, this way, you get there and come back in a day with some...
Yeah, we're not going all the way there because I'm using my spell anyway, so...
Sure.
But we probably travel for 3 or 4 hours anyway to get pretty close.
Okay.
But yeah, the Welt is there, so I don't know if that's going to be a problem.
No, I mean, you go over the Welt, and the Welt is everything. The Welt is everything everyone said it was and more. It is just dead.
Yeah, desolation.
It's desolated. It looks like it was... You ever see forests after they've been burned by like a forest fire, and it's just all like dead? That's kind of what you see. It's like husks of trees and very dry land, and you just don't see anything alive. And that's the other thing, as I said, the whole time you're here, you just don't hear anything. You don't hear insects, you don't hear animals. It's really quiet. It's just odd. Like everything here is dying. Anyhow, eventually it does open up into dense forest. Hey, there you go.
Woo.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, once we think we're a mile or so out, Arteron, based upon what Steel Scale has said, since they know the area, and what maybe Chilagosh sees as they fly straight up and then comes back down, Arteron will say, so I'm going to use that spell to scout far ahead, and now, thanks to the blessing of the towers, my eyes will be able to see in the dark. So Arteron's going to cast Prying Eye.
Okay.
So that way I can send... At first, the eye has to appear within 500 feet, but then I can just have it keep going. And it's invisible, and it sees however I can see. So now it can see in the dark. And I'm just going to have it go scout the tower and what's there and this army, etc. Just trying to get an understanding of what's going on there, personally.
Okay. So this area is very swampy and marshy. So this area, although it is a forest, it's a forest on the edge, but as you continuously go in, have you ever heard of the story how people walk 50 feet into the Everglades in Florida and then can get lost and die because it's so hard to get your directions?
Yep.
Well, that's where you are. It's really confusing because everything looks the same and there's no points of reference other than the sun, and that's about it. So give me a perception check to see how well you're able to scout.
Okay. A nat 1.
Nat 1.
That sucks.
Wow.
Okay. You scout and continue to scout. How long do you want to scout for? I'm going to tell you how long.
Okay.
Oh, okay. 1 hour. You go and
Sounds
search
about right.
for about an hour. You can't find anything. You're like, damn, this place is big. And it is hard to see. You just see desolation, and you can see why they're not even trying to hunt here, because this place looks like a death trap. It is just swampland and marsh and difficult terrain and greater difficult terrain everywhere you can look. You're like, this place sucks.
Well, I can't seem to find the tower. Hataran frowns and I think blinks and looks to the others. I don't want to waste more time here, but I'm having trouble even finding the tower with my eye.
We should keep looking.
Oh, you're all there? You're all there together?
Oh, I don't know. If you're asking me.
Yeah, we go together.
I figured we were all traveling just in case all the gas attack.
I thought we all trued together, yeah?
Oh, did you all go on steel scale?
No.
No, we were walking.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
I mean, if they want to, because we can move faster than.
I thought steel scale was like, hey, everyone get on my back, and just starting to like fly over there, and everyone's like, Darius is like having a good time and happy, like, putting her.
Actually, they could have absolutely ridden on Steel Scale's back, because she would show them, hey, look, I did this thing, look, and she hits like a little tiny lever in her armor with her claw, and out of like the back part of her armor, some of the plate, these various bits and bobs pop up, and then she goes down on all four, and they're basically built-in little seats where you can sit and then hold on to a handle so you don't fall off.
That's cute.
I like it.
And they just like pop out.
And Riley just puts his head out the whole time, like,
Oh.
because it's like, oh, this is so much fun. So it's like, I don't know why I like this so much, but it feels good on the face.
He would love it.
Because she's pretty quick. She can go base speed of 30, so.
Yeah, that's actually what I thought, because otherwise I would have
she's
taken you too long. Because
Yeah, it'd only take like 3 hours on her back instead of 4.
right. I don't think you can walk there in a day. The land is like difficult and greater difficult. It's really nasty.
So yeah, she'll get all huge, and she's got the little seat mounts, and everyone can run over.
Okay, so we retconned that. You flew there. That's also why you can see everything. And it was like desolation everywhere. And then, yeah, you can't. It's big. I mean, like, this is it's like, I keep saying Florida. It's this big, desolate swamp. And yeah, it's very easy to get lost, and there's nothing you can find.
Yeah, I think Atron will say, since we need to focus on the town at the moment and the circus, we will just come back and scout. We already know that there's a large encampment of Zolgas around the tower. I do not want to waste our time and get us trapped out here.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing we didn't see them today. I mean, I'm sure we could have kicked their butts, but still.
No, I doubt it.
Oh, sure we could have. I've seen you all in battle. There's Punchy McStorm fists, and you got all the spooky, magic-y stuff, and the little girl who burns things.
My mother is at the tower, apparently.
I'm still really confused about this relationship, but okay.
Needless to say, it is hostile, and she has also taken the soul of my sister. So there's nothing to trifle with.
It is going to be a battle in of itself with her, let alone a Zolgath army occupying this tower, which is why I wanted to scout it first. But let us go back, as I do not want to get us trapped out here, as I said. And Atron takes a deep breath and concentrates, and their eyes blink violet momentarily as they end the spell. Okay, I am ready to go. Thank you.
Everyone on board, back we go.
Back on the Steel Scale Express.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be on the ground most of the time because she can only fly for a short period of time every day, but still.
So steel scales, steel rails.
But I'm also pretty sure that, like, small bits of uneven terrain aren't as big of a problem for someone who's huge.
Yeah. I guess once we get back, depending on how much time is left in the afternoon/evening, whatever we can do to start helping ready for the circus is what Ataran's going to want to do.
Yeah, we do all the pre-work, like clear the space.
Yeah, this took all day. You come back, you see people are thanking you profusely for the food. Darius, actually all of you, and they're very excited, and you can tell the town is abuzz. That's all they can talk about is the circus in 2 days. They can't wait to see this circus. You couldn't have done better advertising if you tried, just by buying food and everyone knowing that it
Good
came
job,
from
Darius.
you. Good job, Darius.
Thank you.
So, I hope the 4 of you know how to put on some acts, because it might be just you 4, because no one's here yet.
Worst case scenario, I can put up 4 tents that are 100 foot each in just a few minutes.
How's that?
With magic, cool.
Yeah, I guess if we have now like a day or so, I don't know what has more value, like working in the area where the circus will set up or doing the promotion stuff.
You already did promotion. There's no more promotion. You need to set up.
Okay. Then I guess just getting the land set up for when they arrive.
All right, you can do that the next day. Is everyone going to bed?
Oh, I don't like the way you said that.
Everyone give me a will save.
Yay!
Okay, I was gonna say,
Oh, here we go.
I think Steelscale is gonna go back to her lair and sleep there, because the inn was fun, but like, it's probably weird camping there.
Then you don't need to give me a. You don't need to give me a. You actually don't need to give me a roll. Hap is fine.
Okay.
Atron's fine, and Darius is fine.
You said you don't need one from me then?
No, because if you're local, you don't need to do it. And you're local, so you're fine. Okay, you all wake up, rested, relaxed, and you know there's a boat coming in a few hours, so hopefully they're on that ship, because you got to put on a show tomorrow night.
Let's go down to the pier to meet them.
I think I will focus on preparing the area where they are. I will
Yeah.
clear land for the fire, etc.
And Riley and I will go meet them.
Okay. They're not going to be there for a few hours, so you have time. And I guess Darius does the Darius Express.
I do the same thing with the food. I bring another load back.
Food ho! Good thing you got them bags of holding. Why does all the food smell of cabbage?
Well, I do buy some cabbage.
Well, there you go. That's why. Okay. You find the area that you're going to put on the show. It's nice and desolate and dead. You realize, wow, this used to be some farmland and now it's nothing. Okay. That's disturbing. Anyhow, it's all set up. There's little paths. It's easy to get to. Boy, this is going to be a fun show. And you spend the day doing that. And then Hap, you see the ship come in. You go to the dock, wait for them. And thank the gods, but the circus is in town.
Yay!
Yay. They're all there, more or less. And you got everyone was able to get on the ship and get to the town, following you as fast as they could. And yeah.
Gosh, I hope you guys are ready to work. Apparently we're supposed to put on a show tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Well, let's get going.
Oh, is there any way I can help?
Yes. Help us set up. That would be great.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, you can go. And once again, you go through the same caravan like last time. This time, no plants. You're totally okay. Everyone who's with the caravan, give me a perception check.
That's me. Hey, not a bad roll. 36.
A crap roll. 26.
That was everyone with that.
yeah, I think we're all going in a group.
Steel scale. Wow, your perception sucks.
Hey,
It does.
I mean,
Maybe that's why she has so much problems being a hero. Maybe you need glasses.
Hey, let's all bully Steel Scale. Is that what time it is?
yes. Oh yeah, no, that's it. It's just trained, and I only have a +1. It's pretty bad bonus.
Even you didn't realize it. You're like, wait a second, why is my perception so low? And you're like, damn.
I don't know. I have a lot of stuff that's that's pretty low. So
No, it's funny just because I was like, okay, because everyone's like +20, +20, +15.
like, I think it goes up to expert next level, which is why I didn't get the feat that does that. But also, like, I don't know. I've got other things that are +15. Like nature and performance and intimidation, diplomacy, like a lot of things.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You're big,
Yeah.
you're slow, you'll go last.
Hey, I'm big and fast.
You're big and fast in your brain. Hap, you notice tracks on the way back to town.
Tracks. Are they going off the trail?
They're off and around the trail, yes. They're very large tracks. If you give me a nature check, maybe you'll know what they are.
I would love to give you a nature check. Hey, not bad. 33.
These look like dinosaur tracks.
Dinosaur tracks. Okay, I'll point them out to Otteron and to Darius and
Otteron's not there.
Emer. Okay. But most importantly, I'm going to point them out to Riley, who can follow tracks by scent.
Okay. They're going off into the forest off the main trail. So are you going by yourself and leaving the caravan and the circus.
We might have to just mark them and come back.
Ooh, do you want me to go check? I could go check.
We should, I think, check if this is a monster that's going to attack people.
Let's see the caravan safely to the spot,
Yes.
and then we'll come back and check.
That's a good idea. We'll tell Atron.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, you all make it to town, and you have no time to spare. You guys are going to have to spend every minute setting up between now and tomorrow if you want to make it in time for the circus.
Oh, I know exactly what we can do. We let Lederick know about the dinosaur tracks, and he can take care of it.
Okay. How are you going to do that? I guess tonight, if you go to the pub, that's usually the best place to find him.
Yeah, we tell him beforehand.
Okay, yeah, we'll tell him at the pub then.
Okay. So I presume you spend all day, and there everyone's like, oh boy, hurry up. It's like, we got a lot of work to do. This usually takes a couple of days. It actually takes a full week to set up the tent. So day and a half is going to be rough. So we'll do what you can.
Well, that's why I'm saying I can put some magical tents up.
Oh, no. That's not how it would work.
Magical tents?
I can put magical tents up.
You can put up a tent that can hold 2,000 people with bleachers and 3 ring.
I can put up 4.
No, that's not what I asked.
100. Well,
Okay, sorry. Okay, go.
I can put up 4 tents that are 100-foot diameter, which is, something.
That won't do anything. It's one show. You need one tent with all the... I understand where you're coming from. That's good for the sideshow. That will work for the sideshow. That will work. They can use that for the sideshow. They can use that for the attractions.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
They can use that for, but not the main, like...
But it'll save us some time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, it saves time.
Oh, okay, yes. That'll save you time for yes. But you can use that for the main show, the main tent. That's way too small. That's what I thought you were trying. But
No, not for the main tent.
Oh, okay.
Just
Yeah.
free up hands.
Yes, that's great. You do that, you can spend time, everyone's helpful. Hopefully they last a couple of days and they don't disappear out of nowhere in the middle of, the sideshow and poof! Sharpnell has some anti-magic and then the tents disappear while the show is going on. That would suck. And then it's nighttime. Da-da-da-da-da. Do you go to the pub?
Oh, yes.
Sure.
And sure enough, on cue, Ledric comes in, and he's carrying the head of some horrific animal over his shoulder, and says, "Look at what we managed to find out there!" And it looks like it's some dead beast, and looks kind of disgusting. It's like, yeah, it doesn't look good, but people can't be picky around here. Cook her up! And he, throws it to the chef. The chef sort of just looks at it like, ew.
Is it a scaly and or feathery beast?
No.
Okay.
It looks like a very malnourished deer of some sort.
Ledric, I'm glad we found you. The town needs your help. We found dinosaur tracks on the path coming up from the pier. The same kind that the Zolgaths that are plaguing the other island have been using.
He looks at you and his brothers and he's like, and?
And we figured that you would be able to take care of this problem so the dinosaurs don't eat any of the townsfolk.
Dinosaurs eating townsfolk. He looks at the bar. Has anyone seen any dinosaurs around here? And you just hear murmurs of no. It's like, I don't think there's dinosaurs around here. I think you're mistaken.
Look, Lederick.
Or some animal's tracks were leading away into the forest. Large animal.
Okay. And he looks around. He says, I kill dozens of these animals every day for food and trying to help out the town.
Excellent. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. So there's another one. And I brought some, I don't know if you noticed, but there's 5 loads of food that I brought. I hope you know that I'm living up to the bargain.
I know, you have been. It's been helpful. Okay. Tell us where the tracks are and we'll check it out tomorrow.
Thank you, Ledric. I'll put a magical map on the table and I'll show them exactly where they are.
He's like, okay. The cook comes out with some weird-looking stew. And he takes the stew and starts handing it out to everyone in the inn. It's like, everybody, eat up! Look what we brought you! And he's handing out large bowls of stew to everyone. Except you. You don't need it. You have your own food. He doesn't eat it. or his brothers. But, everyone else, they can have as much as they want. It's like, more for everyone else. Don't worry about us. We take care of ourselves. And everyone's just so impressed by how selfless he is. So
I wanted to like this guy when we first got here. Like, I really wanted to. I understood he's going to be a little boisterous, a little over the top. But I just can't. I just can't like him. He's too much of a dick.
I love it. Maybe he'll grow on us.
he's a nice guy. He's taking care of the town. Look, he got everyone food. He's killing the monsters. He's doing a great job. You just don't see it, but everyone loves him. Maybe if everyone loves him and everyone is so enamored by him, maybe he's not the problem. Maybe you are. Anyhow, time for Betty Bye. Everyone give me a will save.
Oh no, these.
Except the native. Steel scale. Ooh, Darius 27. Ooh, half 27. That's not good. Oh, after round 24, you all fail. Woof. Fail. Let's go through each one, shall we?
You've been listening to Roll for Combat 3-Ring Adventure, a Pathfinder actual play podcast. If you have a question or comment for the show, please visit us at rollforcombat.com. You can also find us and play various games on our Discord channel at discord.rollforcombat.com. You've been listening to Roll for Combat. Until next week, if you run out of range of your party healer, it's your own damn fault and you deserve to die.